I am going to give you the single most important key level right now on the Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to explain you why this is so important, but also where did we came from and what am I looking for next should we reclaim this key level. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another Bitcoin technical analysis update. This is your host, Mike Williams, where we always have the juiciest and best levels for you up on the chart. And as you can see, the single most important level that we are currently dealing with on Bitcoin is 30,268 to be exact. Personally, I would round it off a little bit to give it a bit more of a round number. So 30,250 for me, the single most important level on the entire chart. Now, we are coming off of a small consolidation or a big consolidation region in a downward sloping sense, looking along the lines of this. I know this is not very accurate, but I'm looking at the overall direction of that downtrend that is occurring. We have been overlapping these price levels time and time again. Overall, making it look like it's not necessarily a strong downtrend, but rather a consolidation range. And especially in the latter sections of the range, you can see that even though we are trending down, there's no real conviction in the downward sloping part of the channel or of the trend. And instead, after every volatile move, price is really contracting into a very choppy and low volatility market, really. And specifically on the last consolidation range, more locally speaking, where we have been in a consolidating sideways range, swing failuring this low ultimately, and then having a really big, very textbook classic example short trade, which I have shorted in the group, and I have went over this in detail as to what I was looking for and how does this look like in the order flow. Really one of the best short squeezes I have seen, well, literally in years. Very nice nice example. But that is not what this video is about, because what I want to tell you is that since then we have been pretty much contracting in one of the lowest volatility periods on Bitcoin, well, since January this year. And this is the thing, when volatility is contracting, right, it is pretty much building up a cause where there's very little leeway. So how does that look like? You know, I would like to compare this to something like an elastic, where initially you have a lots of leeway, but as price is contracting, right, the cause is building up until there's almost no room to move anymore. Now, you can also compare this to, let's say, if you are putting like an animal, for example, in a corner where there's no way to get out, then the breakout of that is coming with a lot of power and a lot of aggression, eager to get away from that tiny corner. And that results ultimately in a volatile breakout. And that is exactly the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. And in this case, we have broken out to the upside, seeing a 5% increase in price. So in order to understand why this is such an important level, we have to understand what happened in the past. Because what is really the reason? Why did we found our lows at around that $28.8 thousand? Why not lower? Why didn't we went to $28,000? Or why didn't we went to $24,000? Well, this answer does lie in the past. And if we have to zoom out on a slightly higher time frame, we can see that there is a little consolidation region that we have spent a significant amount of time in last year, in 2022, in May, where if we simply put a white box around it, marking out that low and that high, and then simply extrapolate it to where we are at currently. As a matter of fact, really need to fine-tune this just a little bit instead of, doing it on the candle wicks. I prefer to use the candle closes in this scenario. And there we are finding our answer. Why did we top out over here at the time? Why did we start a retracement on the 14th of July, on the 15th of July? And why are we currently bouncing from those specific key levels, right? And that marks our range that we have been spending, well, a good 2 months now. And now we have finally found our bottom. We have consolidated very slowly towards that bottom. And since then, we've been breaking out to the upside. And now we are really getting into a very important key level, because if this key level is being reclaimed, then we finally have the possibility of price breaking out to the upside, making that $32,000 and eventually $36,000 and $38,000 a lot more likely, and it's pretty much back on the table, after which we can ultimately say, hey, this was a characteristic of the trend where we are pretty much breaking out, having our retracement, breaking out, having our retracement, and then once again breaking out and having our retracement, after which we can look for continuation to the upside. The reason why this is such an important level is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a point of control. And the way that I find this is simply from the start of this entire range till the end of this range. It gives us this level, not only here, but also if we simply pull a fixed range from all the way from the previous consolidation range until now, it also gives us the point of control, and therefore marking out the single most important resistance level for now of the entire chart. So what do we have to pay attention to? Well, very much so is that yesterday we have attempted to reach and tap this level. However, we failed to do so at the time. We have another level slightly below, not relevant for this video per se, but we are seeing price taking a breather since then. However, we have failed to tap that exact level thus far, and therefore I would say it is likely that we're going to retest this level again, and that, in my opinion, is going to give us the next piece of the puzzle that we need in order to make an informed decision on how we are going to view the chart. One thing I do want you to be aware of is that locally we are now changing slowly but surely into a bull trend. Coming out of this low volatility period, we have now changed locally in an uptrend, right? High, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and thus far simply range bound over here, coming up into that bigger resistance. So what I would say, caution should be taken on the short as we are changing that market structure currently. However, until we have reclaimed this specific level, lower prices remain on the table. However, the first signs are being given that we are now changing that market structure, and therefore as on the time of me making this video, the probabilities remain in favor that we're going to see at least another rise to the upside to at least test this level, right? And I could be wrong. It is ultimately about probabilities, but the chances are fairly high that we're going to do something like this, and that will provide us with the answers that we need, whether we're going to get a rejection from here and then drop downwards. If we do so, lower prices such as $28,000 and potentially even $24,000 remain on the table. However, if we do not get rejected and instead actually bust through, backtest it as support, right? Then from that moment on, I would class the Bitcoin chart as a relatively strong chart where a true sign of strength has been given and higher prices can be expected, such as $32,000 and eventually 36 and potentially even higher prices. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why this is the most important key level on the chart right now. If you've liked this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, so that you can always stay up to date for future videos. Now, before I close off the stream, what I do want to mention is that currently, unfortunately, the Thrive Labs community is sold out due to popular demand. However, I've decided that in the background we are working really hard on generating content and providing the best quality of education and of educational environment for the members that we do currently have. But I do expect that our next round of opening will be on or around the first week of September 2023. So keep an eye on all of that, before we open up for another round, and we'll simply go from there. So keep an eye on that. That's what I want to say. I did receive messages like, "Hey, Mike, please." I've been waiting for my, I really want to become a member. Can you please open up for just one more day? And I'm going to have to disappoint you. The answer is simply no. We're currently simply just full. We're sold out. And so you have to simply wait until we reopen again if you want to have a chance on joining the tribe. Lastly, but not least, in order to soften the pain a little bit, I do have created a free cheat sheet for y'all, because ultimately the next question that you should be asking to yourself is, okay, but this is how the key level looks like, and it looks like we're starting maybe a new uptrend, which is at the moment still unconfirmed, by the way. But how do I judge the health of that trend? Well, that is a question that I'm not going to answer in this video, but instead I would like to invite you to click on the link below to get a free cheat sheet that I have made for you, that you can simply download. All you have to do is just leave your email address behind, and then pretty much instantly you just get that cheat sheet in your email box that you can print out or hang on your wall, whatever, for you to, from that moment on, answer that question for yourself. And that is ultimately my purpose. What I'm doing, the reason why I'm teaching, is the ultimate goal is that you are becoming self-sufficient. Now, with having everything covered right now on Bitcoin, I really wish you a super pleasant day, and I am looking forward to see you again in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers. Bye.